Hey, what's up guys, Engage here, and it is currently 4 in the morning, but I just wanted to make a quick video just covering the build that I've been making with the Zoh Shia armor, and including the weapon too. I've been rocking the Zoh Shia weapon. You don't have to, and I'll show you a build later that uses an Artian weapon for max damage. But on this particular build, I've been rocking the Zoh Shia weapon and the 4-piece Zoh Shia set, along with the Guardian Arcveld braces. So just to show you guys, I have the Zoh Shia weapon, Gore Magala weapon. This is kind of like a double dragon build, but I only use the Zoh Shia weapon on this build. I don't swap the weapons really. But then I have the Zoh Shia head A, Zoh Shia chest B, Zoh Shia waist B, and then the Zoh Shia legs B. And I also have the Guardian Arcveld Van braces. This, along with the Exploiter charm, is going to give me 4 points of weakness exploit, plus a Tenderizer jewel, which will give me level 5. And for the mantle, even though the Corrupted mantle got hit with heavy nerfs, it's still pretty damn good on longsword. As for my decos, I chose to sacrifice 2 levels of crit boost here in order to go for Master's Touch. I felt that like my sharpness on the Zoh Shia weapon ran out really quick, and I want to experiment more with White Flame Torrent, so that's why I'm using it. And I did the same thing on the Gore Magala weapon, although on this weapon you have much more white sharpness on it. And we have a Tenderizer here, which gives me my level 5 weakness exploit. I have 3 Mighty Jewels giving me level 3 maximum might for that 30% affinity bonus. I have a counterattack jewel, so I was able to get in a level of adrenaline rush here, which is really good on longsword. You get 10 attack whenever you do a dodge, not perfectly timed, but a well-timed dodge, which is gonna happen all the time with your foresights. We got level 3 quick sheath, which for me is a must-have on longsword. I can't go without it. It literally feels like I'm sheathing my weapon in slow motion without it. And then lastly, I was actually running the Zoh Shia legs A initially with a Mighty Jewel and a Physique Jewel for Constitution, but I actually just made the B legs for Zoh Shia, and instead I put on a Burst decoration. And although I am losing a level of Counter-Strike, the Zoh Shia A legs gives you 2, this one only gives you 1. That 5 attack loss is made up in the fact that Burst level 1 gives you 8 raw attack, and on top of that, because I'm doing a dragon build with the Zoh Shia weapon, it actually gives me 60 elemental attack as well, which is really good. And of course, you know, we can't talk about Zoh Shia's armor without talking about super recovery too. With the current pieces that I have on, I have recovery speed level 3, which recovers the red portion of your health gauge really fast, and that's why I wanted it on here. But I also get super recovery, which is just constantly healing you throughout the entire hunt until you get to max health, right? And it is rather slow, so there are going to be times where you're going to need to heal. But for the most part, it's really nice to just constantly have recovery. Whereas with the Guardian Arcveld set bonus, which is what I was running before, you're going to have to create those wounds, and I'm pretty sure in this patch they actually nerfed how often wounds can be created. They made it harder to create them, so you can't just stun lock the monster. So this is a really good replacement, and I love having these comfy skills on this build. And just real quick, if you're running an elemental build, you also get coalescence, which is nice. So you get a little bit of elemental and status buildup. So even if you're running a status build, this is still good. And elemental absorption, even if you're not running an element, because you won't benefit from the extra elemental damage you'll receive, but you'll still end up getting a little bit of extra defense against the element you were hit with, which, as you can see, my dragon res is at -20, which is f***ing terrible with the Zoh Shia armor. But this elemental absorption, even at level 1, makes it a little bit better. And really quick, just to show you guys, this is what it looks like with a Debencius weapon. I have a blast one and I have a paralysis one. These are the, these are the pulls I got on it. And with this build, I have a decent amount of white sharpness, but then I have master's touch and crit boost level 5, which if you're trying to go for max damage, I recommend this. Though on the paralysis weapon, which I usually use in multiplayer, I opted to get crit status level 3 as opposed to maxing out crit boost, just because that'll allow me to proc paralysis a lot more often, as if it didn't proc it often enough already, right? But yeah, these are the builds that I'm rocking, or I'm mainly using the Zoh Shia weapon right now, but I just wanted to show you guys what you could do with the Artian longsword, just in case you're trying to go for max damage, as opposed to just using the Zoh Shia weapon. And again, on the Zoh Shia weapon, I did trade off 2 levels of crit boost in order to have master's touch, because otherwise the white sharpness goes away way too quickly. But yeah, I don't know if this is a completely optimized build. I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's been fun using. I kind of just made this build because I was trying to get a Gormagala gem to make the legs, which I finally got. And the numbers, the skills, everything looks really good on it. And of course, if I wanted to go max DPS, I would use my Artian weapons. But what's the fun in that, right? But let me know if there's any improvements, if you guys have any suggestions for my build. Let me know in the comments for sure. I'd love to hear your guys' input, and I'd love to experiment more with some of these builds that you guys have cooked up. But yeah, I will be streaming this build, so check me out, twitch.tv/engage_end. Check me out on there if you guys want to see this build, or if you just want to chat. I love chatting with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.